Yes, yes, good evening, boys and girls. It's the Armoury TV. We're back with another match reaction. It's your boy Gumsa. My heart rate is finally mellowed out. I'm joined by the one and only Cannons, and we may have some special guests to come in a bit later as well. So we're gonna get into this. Yes, yes, yes. Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone's well. Well, good evening for some most, good afternoon for some, and good morning for others. It's the Armory TV. We're back with another match reaction to a thrilling game. Arsenal keep doing it to us. They're causing me stress, anxiety, high blood pressure, everything. Asthma's kicking in, hay fever, the lot. But we're getting over the line. That's all that matters. It's 3 points in the bag. I've got my main guy, Canners, with me. How you keeping, brother?
Man, I tell you what, right? I've just been on a train. I've just done a 3 hour journey on the train, right? And I bought a lovely muffin. I was looking forward to eat, but all through the journey, I couldn't eat it. It's only just now I've managed to be able to actually eat the blueberry muffin. Man, what this team does to you, man. Shit.
Yeah, and before we go on, Canners, let's ask you how you feel about it because again, you're a man. Every home game you're there normally. Obviously, you've got
Mm.
something on personal, so you couldn't go to there. I know you're somewhere in your place. Is it easier or harder for you watching it in the stadium or watching it at home?
It's easy in the stadium.
Mm,
Today was torture. I'm on a train. I'm just bound by the EE 5G gods, and they weren't playing ball all the way up, and so I'm trying to refresh everything, trying to watch a little bit, or whatever, just trying to get the game. And I know someone on my WhatsApp. Whenever he seems to be pretty much on the ball in terms of timings, so he
yeah,
kind of like I saw his ping come straight through when it was 2-2. I was like, oh, brilliant, because again I was refreshing. He's a Tottenham fan anyway, right? And the thing is,
yeah.
at the end, obviously, I'd given up. I'd given up. And when I saw he sent a text and just went, no. I said, we must have scored. I went absolutely nuts on the train. I went, yes. The whole train just looked at me.
That is brilliant.
But oh my god! So I'm trying to refresh everything, whatever, trying to get the feedback, whatever. I just see scenes, man, scenes.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful thing.
yeah. It was crazy. And like you said, the stress levels again. That my thing is,
Oh,
I have my apps, my notifications. And like you subscribe to like live score and then you say your favorite team's Arsenal, so automatically it gives you updates for Arsenal. So the worst thing is when my phone goes off and it pings and I'm thinking, oh, we scored, and because we got all the possession, I think, oh, we scored, and then it peters to nothing. You're like, oh, what was I thinking about? You go and check,
oh,
is it email or it's YouTube saying or Twitter saying? Do you know what I mean? So it's so difficult sometimes when you watch at home because your phone is just constantly playing
oh.
tricks. And even in the group
It's
chat earlier, one of
get
them
me at the
said,
game.
someone said go free at the back, and then someone replied saying no two, and this is at 1-0. So because he said no two, Kings come in and said, oh, have they scored? Is it 2-0? And I'm saying, what's going on? So I'm trying to refresh, trying to see what's happening. And then it
Oh,
made sense. Someone
it's
said go free at the
painful.
back, and then someone said no, go two at the back. But rather than say go
But
two at
no,
the back,
no,
go
you got
no two. And it
two.
just
They've
threw
gone
all our
two
group
up.
chat into, and
Oh,
then literally 5 minutes
meltdown.
later they scored. I was like, oh my, it was crazy. But yeah, this team, man, it's
This team. Do you know
it's
what?
sending us for it.
The thing that I'm getting a little bit scared of is that I'd rather save those kind of jokers, those kind of get out of jail free cards
Yeah,
until later on in the season, not now.
yeah.
We
You
shouldn't be
need that
using,
free game.
yeah, we shouldn't be using these jokers or these get out of jail free cards against the likes of Bournemouth at
Mm,
home.
mm. Well,
But
we will get into it in a minute. I'm gonna move room because my signal's breaking up a little bit here, so I'm gonna quickly run downstairs. But before I run down, so I can still hear you, Canners, I'm gonna ask you. Team sheet come out, and it's gonna be a talking point. We're gonna do the preview, the reaction a bit different today because me and you have had some interesting conversations in the group
yeah,
chats. Um, so team sheet, there was a few changes. Obviously, Tommy Asu for Ben White. The front three stayed the same. Noticeably, or Jorginho for Partey, which I think most of us thought would happen at one stage, and then the most noticeable was Fabio Vieira for Granit Xhaka.
Shaka.
Um, so, Canners, when you saw the 11,
Mm.
what was your thoughts?
I was a bit, in a sense, like, okay, Party, yes, because his second half against, oh gosh, who was it? Everton. His second half against Everton was
Still trying to close
unbelievable.
on here.
Gumsa, we can still hear you. But
my,
yeah,
my bad.
the second half against Everton for Party was absolutely tremendous. The way he controlled and managed the game and just bossed the midfield against those two. So yeah, for me, Thomas Party coming back in was a no-brainer. Tomiyasu for White, I had a bit of reservations with that one simply because Tomiyasu doesn't overlap the way, or I'm not sure whether he hasn't got any rhythm or what have you. But White with his overlapping with Saka is a feature of ours, and it does help Saka when he's been 2 or 3 men, men on him. At least it gives the defenders another kind of like thing to think about. Tomiyasu is not really that person to go past, so this is not going to be one of his better games or go down. So I think he needs to get some rhythm and start playing again. Maybe Europa for that. But the big one for me, which you and I were we weren't going back and forth, but we was having a little discussion.
We was having a nice little discussion.
Yeah, as we do. Is a bit of a back and forth, but I just feel like Granit Xhaka for me, and I think this game epitomizes how important he is to this team. Maybe not what you see in terms of when he's on the ball, but trust me, when I'm at the games, I watch him, I look at him, I see what he does, I see what the kind of positions he takes, I see what he says to, when something happens, the way he goes over to the player to say something or whatever it is. But there's something about a mental kind of thing that he brings to the team, which is a kind of like uh, dare I say it, stability. But that kind of like older figure, that older kind of, he keeps everyone in their toes. For me personally, Granit Xhaka, I'm not saying that in terms of affecting it physically, but
Mm.
from a mental standpoint, Granit Xhaka on that pitch doesn't let those two go, especially the first one in a way. The
See,
first one
it's
doesn't
quite
happen.
interesting because this is the difference in take we had, isn't it? Because I
Mm,
think I understand what you're saying, and sometimes it is about more than just the physical on football. Sometimes it is the mental. So a
yeah,
lot of time it is mental. Football is 90% with the brain, 10% with your feet. Um, Again, if you see a picture earlier, you can execute passes. If you, do you know what I mean? So a lot of it is to do with the brain. Um, and there's a lot more into football than just being someone who can control a football and dribble past people. We've seen players, again, you look at Pepe, he's probably one of the most talented players we've had in a long
mm,
time, but couldn't get going. And there's probably more to do with the mentals rather than the actual physicals. So
physicals, yeah.
I do hear what you're saying. I just feel it's sometimes my thing is we're quick to write off some players because
I'm not
it's,
writing
and I'm
Fabio
not saying
Vera
you're right.
off.
I'm not saying you're
No.
writing him off, but it's very easy to say because he's not playing, we lose in this. And that was my thing with it. It's yes, it was a shock to me to see Vieira in the starting 11. I'm not gonna lie to you, because again, it's a game
Mm,
where you think go and win this one. We've got a week break, so you can get your rest in. Again, if the game's wrapped up early, you can get Vieira on for 45 minutes, whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? But you go and wrap these games
yeah,
up because we
do it
haven't got
that
a
way.
midweek. Have we got a midweek game this week?
Yeah, we've got Sporting
But even that, it's
Thursday.
still Thursday. It's still a long way away. It's not like it's a Monday,
Yeah,
Thursday. Do you know what I mean? Or
they've got
Saturday,
5 days
or
rest.
Saturday, Tuesday. You could get still a lot of rest. So for me, Xhaka would start today. However, again, I think Arteta's thinking we're going to dominate the ball. Let's get a bit more creativity into it because the last couple of times we've played a low block, we've struggled to break. It's taken us a while to break a team down. So maybe let's do it early. And I'm not saying it's backfired on him, but it kind of has because we've conceded within 9 seconds. And I don't think anyone could have, even with Xhaka not in the team, would have predicted that would have happened. Like, yes, I feel we lose something without Xhaka in there, the
Yeah.
physical strength of the game, but no one's expecting them to just pass the ball down the right, cross the ball, little deflection from Gabriel, which completely kills Saliba's positioning, and then Billing just runs off the back of Partey, and bang, it's 1-0. You're thinking, hey, like no one's predicting that, but
Yeah.
the beauty
Yeah.
of this team is
Exactly.
how we bounce back. But I said in the
Well,
group
it took
chat, and
us
I
long
don't know what
to,
you think.
to
It took
bounce
us a long
back.
time. Yeah, it took us a long time. But I said in the group chat, it's a funny one because even performance-wise, again, you know me, I'm a person. Performance isn't everything, but it means a lot to me. And we performed better in that 45 than we did against Everton. However, it's a 3-goal swing because Everton we was 2-0 up at 45. Bournemouth were losing 1-0. So
Mm.
it's one of them things. It's frustrating because we're losing, but performance-wise, I was more frustrated with the Everton performance up until the goals than I was in this performance. I always thought we'd get back into it. We dominated the game, and again, the style we play, and this is where people do have to be mindful of Arsenal. We're gonna score a lot of late goals because we break you down. We
Mm.
keep going, we keep going. You're gonna tire. One of your defenders will switch off, and then we look to kill you. And it it's frustrating as a gap as a fan because you want to get the goal early, but you almost got to
You just want
understand
a
part
nice,
of how we play.
comfortable, easy afternoon, right? That's
Yeah,
what
but
that's what
part
you
of how
want.
we play, it is about breaking the team. That it is about almost that mental. Like, can you handle this amount of pressure
This.
for
Yeah.
90 minutes? And that is how we play football. So it doesn't surprise me some when we went in at 1-0 down because we didn't really create a lot. We think we almost scored straight away. Odegaard had a shot and Saka got to the rebound and maybe should have done better. He hit the target, but
Mm.
Neto stood strong. Apart from that, we didn't really have much apart from a few long shots. But again, it's that we're going to keep coming, we're going to keep coming, we're going to keep coming. And then all of a sudden, we gone 2-0 down. And um, at
That
that
was
point,
not in
you
the
think game
script.
done.
1-0 maybe, but 2.
Mm,
No, we're just hoping
yeah,
for a point, right?
yeah, 100%. And again, I'm not going to get into their goals. It was just a set piece. Obviously, we gave away a free kick. Partey gave it away. They ball come in. I think don't know who jumped in front of Saliba, but he didn't. I think he thought they cleared it. It hit the back of him, gone
Mm.
out for a corner, and then the guys ran off Partey. It would be interesting to watch again. There's a block on Martinelli. This guy has got him American football hold, and Martinelli cannot move. So it'd be interesting to see that again, to see because you can see
Well,
it's kind of Martinelli's zone. They played it well.
well.
But,
This kind of takes me though to the goal that Trossard was disallowed,
mm, mm,
right? Where they kind of, he basically stopped someone having an influence on the ball coming in, i.e., Ben White holding his
mm.
arm down.
The keeper, yeah.
Is this not the case, kind of same kind of scenario in a sense?
Mm,
I don't
mm.
know.
I don't,
Maybe
eh,
because the ball went nowhere near him or whatever, or
but
whatever it was. But
I think because then if he's released, he can try and attack the ball. But again, you never know. It might not have made no difference at all. I don't think
mm,
VAR even checked it. However,
yeah,
again, I'm not focused on other things because today we got so much positives to talk about, even in a frustrating game. So at 2-0 down, again, I'm looking thinking I can't even see where the goals are coming from.
no,
And I'm going to touch on Martinelli and Saka for a bit. And I think it's good today how this is unfolded because for how good these two have been all season, for me, it's not even Martinelli as much. I think he had a couple of half chances where he maybe could have done better, but Saka was getting in some great positions. And it looked like his final ball just wasn't there today. Um,
yeah.
he was mishitting things. He just look, yeah, he just didn't. I can't even say he didn't look the same because he was unbelievable to build up. It was just that final piece of end product just wasn't coming off. Do you think
It,
it may be time for him to have a little rest? I called it the other week. I said I would rest Saka for
yeah.
one game. Um, he's still doing all the brilliant stuff. It was just that final. How many times did he get inside? Because they weren't really doubling up on him. It was just him one on one,
No,
and he was beating his man
yeah.
for fun. But it was just the final cutback, the final ball. It just wasn't coming off.
The thing is when is that game? Because the thing is now the problem we have is fair enough. We might have Jesus coming back, but we've got Trossard out. We don't know how long.
Eddie out as well. We don't know.
Eddie out
That's a
as
bad
well.
one.
So fair enough. It's good that Smith Rowe come back in, but oh man, yeah. The problem is that you got two players out now who could be out for you have no idea what length of time.
Mm,
Trossard looks like a muscular injury,
mm,
and that's normally weeks rather than days. So
mm,
that's a problem. Um, yeah, with Saka, the problem is that he's going to have these days, and what I thought yesterday, because I was on the One Touch stream, big up to them man's there, Niger, Aquas, etc. I said if we are 2 or 3% below par, and Bournemouth are playing out of their absolute skins,
mm,
there's a potential problem.
mm,
And to me, it just seemed like there was too many players who were playing below par, coupled with the changes that Arteta made with bringing in Tomiyasu and then also um, Fabio Vieira. Odegaard, I don't think was at it as well, as you alluded to with Saka and stuff. So
mm.
there's too many players I think who drop below their normal, consistent
Yeah,
average ratings.
and it's a hard one because I said it's. I don't want to say it's below par because I feel they played well. I don't think anyone played badly. I think the Everton game we struggled more. We were still fluid. We were still doing the things we meant to do, but it was just that final end product. And what you need Odegaard to find that pass, and you need Saka to make a good decision. And that's what was kind of lacking, wasn't it? It was one chance Martinelli got in behind and
Yeah,
just didn't control the ball, and the keepers come out again. Any little touch, he goes around the keeper. It's an open goal. There's
yeah.
one where he drove through, and again, the build-up play for him was really good because we haven't really seen him play striker. And for me, he done pretty well up front, but it was just the rashness wasn't off the finishing. And
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is one of the ones where I say sometimes leave Eddie alone because we've seen Martinelli through there today. He had a lot more chances than what Eddie normally gets, and he
yeah.
missed as well. So
Mm.
guys are going to miss chances. Do you know what I mean? And what we
I
need
think
is when
the fact is
people,
that we were making chances. I think
yeah, that's
is
a
a
good thing, and
positive.
that's a positive. That's a positive. But when people are maybe not, do you know what I mean? When snatching, you need other people to step up. And Smith Rowe got an assist,
Yeah.
and then let's actually talk about Arteta's substitution because at half time, Canners, you said you're giving Arteta a 4. Now, Arteta's made a bold move.
You calling me out? You calling me?
I am. We're doing this today. Now, he's made a bold move because Reece Nelson's due to come on, and I'm thinking, yeah, I want to see him. And in my head, it's Fabio Vieira's coming off, Smith Rowe will
Yeah.
go inside, and Nelson will go on the left. That was in my head because Nelson's come off the bench. However, Nelson hasn't played much minutes, so he got probably about 60 in the tank, which is probably not on his cards right now. He's probably not due 60 minutes in the first team. Do you know what I mean? They will build him up slowly. So whether it was tactical or whether it was actually get him off before he breaks down,
Mm.
he's come off anyway. And Nelson's come on. Literally, first time he's touched the ball, gets down the byline, cross, assist, and then he scores the winner. So what are you going to score Arteta now, Canners? We'll get into that. And again, is that the bravery? Because Smith Rowe maybe wouldn't be happy with coming off after coming on the
Yeah.
pitch. Do you know what I mean? It's them
Yeah.
bold decisions.
Yeah. I think you're right with the Smith Rowe thing. I mean, but obviously no player likes to be the sub being sub, do they?
Mm,
But you've got to manage certain players in a certain way. And
yeah,
he's obviously had an injury and he's broken down, and now he's had a long stint on the sidelines and he's coming back. So you've got to be careful with him. Yeah, I was hands up. I was championing for Fabio Vieira to be replaced, um, but he made his 3 windows of substitutions, and that we was just like, okay, Vieira's staying on.
well, he did come off later, didn't he? Shaka came on,
Yeah,
but it was the earlier sub, if that makes sense. Shaka came on with like
yes,
5 to go.
yeah. So the thing for me is that he had to be bold. It was like
Mm,
kitchen sink time. So rather than and it goes back to Aston Villa, we can't keep winning games like this. These are games that you win maybe with 3 or 4 games to go when you're trying to just get over the line, kind of
mm.
thing. Not with how many we got left, like 13
12 left
games.
now.
Yeah, 12
12
left.
left.
Yeah, it's too early to be doing these last gasp winners, man. It's too early for that. But I'm still gonna give Arteta. He goes up to a 6. He goes up to a 6
How
because
does
it
that?
was a
He ain't
4.
giving in. He ain't giving in.
I'm not
In
giving in. Not
the
giving
long
in.
term, you never know what this could do because again, Xhaka did get 80 minutes where he didn't touch the pitch, which maybe needed. You may see him. We saw Abu Martinelli when he missed a game. He came back and was firing. I think that's 4 goals in 4 games for
Do you
him
know what?
now.
Sorry to cut
Look,
there, but I think Martinelli was more due to the change with Trossard coming in.
form,
In
yeah, I think
my,
his was form. Yeah,
yeah. I don't think it was fatigue or anything like that.
no, but you never know.
I
It
think
may
it's
light a little
yeah,
fire. It may.
yeah,
You never know. You never know
true,
what response
true.
this could do. It could make Shaka think, oh, again, Shaka's been ever present since Arteta's taken over.
Yeah,
The only games he's missed is probably suspension or injury. He hasn't missed. He started every game literally. When he's fit, he
yeah,
starts every game. Um, so again, you never know what that lights up in him. Maybe it's like maybe I need to take more risk in the final third because there's a. Do you know what I mean? We don't know the reasons we're not in there. It could just be generally look, you've played a lot of minutes. This we never know, but let's
yeah.
see how it responds and see what it does. But the most important thing is when you are making these changes, it might not be as pretty as we want, and it might not be as pretty as it would have been if we started Ben White and if we started Granit Xhaka. But at the end of the day, when we look back on the season, all we're going to look at is this
It's
result and see a
W,
W and 3 points, and
exactly.
that's all that matters. Really and honestly, in the grand scheme of things.
100%.
Yeah, it was stressful, but let's get on to
Oh,
the man of the moment because um Reese Nelson, there was a lot, and I'm calling people out. I'm not going to call individuals because I can't remember who, but we're going to bring James in for this because I know James is a man who loves the Arsenal boys. James, how you keeping?
What's going on,
hey
bro? It's been a
James.
while. Apologies
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
delay.
all
Yeah, man,
good.
I'm buzzing.
Good to
I
hear.
don't know. I don't know how to describe it at the moment. My heart, I feel like I'm developing a heart condition right now because the amount of 90th minute winners we're scoring. I feel like I've aged 6 years this season. I mean, I'm going to celebrate my 30th birthday in June. Like, come on now, like, they're killing me.
Well, if you're celebrating your 30th, I'm celebrating my
Instead of
90th then.
yeah, that's how it felt. I was just waiting for the memes and the banter, and I was just like, oh god, I had people messaging
Oh,
me. Like
yeah.
it was stressful, but we're gonna get into the guy who's come off the bench and he done it something similar earlier in the season. If you remember, he came off the bench when is it Saka got injured or Martinelli?
Yeah, Forest, wasn't it? I think it was
Yeah,
come
and
off for
Saka, I think.
Martinelli. Saka. Yeah,
Saka, yeah, and he scored in that 1 or 2. He scored in that game. It was 2, wasn't it?
I think he got 2. Yeah,
Yeah, he got 2
yeah.
in that game, and again, he's coming with less time this game.
Mm.
But what an impact he made down the left, cross across the box. Ben White as well. What a finish that was. And then that
That's his
match
first goal
winner.
this season, by the way. Actually, no, his first
Mm.
goal for us.
For
Yeah.
Arsenal, yeah. What a way to get it.
So, what a
Um,
time to get it.
mm,
Oh,
mm. But we're gonna focus on Mr. Nelson and then that finish. And we had a lot of half chances today. We wasn't hitting the target. I think
that wasn't
Aramis
even a
or
half
Odegaard had
chance.
about 7, 8. Saka had a few, Martinelli had a few, but the composure, 97th minute, and thank you to whoever that defender was who went down in the 91st minute and wanted to sit down for a minute.
It was
That
Smith
gave
or
us the
whatever
extra
it
minute we
was.
needed. That gave us the extra minute we
Yeah.
needed, and boy did we use it well. His puck pulled come out to him. His first touch, left foot, half volley, drilled it in, edge of the box. James, what was your house like at that moment when that hit the back of the
Well,
net?
my dad was cooking chili downstairs, and he was listening to, I think it was Soccer AM or something, whatever the
Right.
live show is. That and I was watching it upstairs. I was going nuts. So I have a long desk. My desk is like really, really big lengthways, and it almost went flipping everywhere. All the monitors, laptop. I don't know. I feel like I might have cracked it a bit by smacking my hands after it. But honestly, yeah, I don't know. There's a weird feeling right now where even at 2-0 down or even at 2-2, there just feels like an inevitability around us that we're going to score the goal that we need. And I don't know if you guys felt it or, we left it last gasp this time, but Yeah, man. I would, every Arsenal fan across the globe, I was just no. I had a shower.
We was all as one, wasn't it? Across the globe, isn't it? At that time,
you heard the screams all over the world. You know what I mean? It was
on the moon. You would have heard
that. It was crazy. Like, and again, like when we scored the equaliser, we still had 20 minutes to go, and I'm thinking, this is now not a problem.
Cool.
And then when we got to night, how have we not even really created? Like, my head was gone thinking, how have we not done this? At night, if I'll be honest, James, me and you are different. I thought the game was done. I thought it was 2-2. That's it.
Yeah,
like, I couldn't see us getting it. And then, but Candace, you've got a more interesting story because you was on the train when that goal's gone in. So tell me what your reaction was like, and tell me what the looks you were getting. I'm expected to see you as a meme by the end of the weekend. Someone filmed you and pull it up on Insta or TikTok or something.
I'm just telling you that I was on my way out to Manchester. Well, I'm here now, and trying to refresh. Get the kind of get the scores or whatever. It's 96 minutes on the clock, and I'm trying to like refresh, and everything's all stalled or whatever. But as I was saying before, there's a guy who basically he gets his he's obviously watching it live or whatever. But anyway, he's a Spurs fan, and he called it when it was 2-2, and then everyone from our WhatsApp group came after. I was like, okay, cool, wicked, it's 2-2, and then all I just saw was a buzz in my WhatsApp, and it was him, and he goes, "No, he's a Tottenham fan," and I just went, "Fucking lies!" on the train and everything. Everyone just went like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Sorry, God."
So we're gonna ask anyone on the trains, if you got video footage of that, please send it to us. What train was you traveling with? I'm gonna email them guys and see.
No, that's it. No more. That it was a train to Manchester. Not saying that was it. That's as much info you're gonna get. But it wasn't my finest moment. But I tell you, it was something where it was all pent up aggression. I tell you what, right now, if it was 2-2. Or 2-1 or whatever it was, anything less than 3 points, it would have been a super meltdown for me right now because I was fuming.
You was gone. Half-time, your head was gone.
Yeah. My head was gone.
Credit to the guys, but I do hear what you're saying, because we can't keep expecting to get out of these situations. Like, we've got to do things properly. Do you know what I mean? And hope we did see after the Brentford game. We then went on a little run, a couple of games without conceding. So I'm hoping Arteta would get into them. And I do think it was a lot of luck how we ended up 2-0 down. They were very clinical, very, very clinical. But James, just before we move on, the strike from Nelson, how good was that? And was you one of these guys in the summer that wanted Nelson out, or was you with me? I can't remember where you was.
I'm not.
James is definitely south. James is definitely south. Get the money. I know James is ruthless. James is ruthless.
My opinion still hasn't changed, but I'll big up REISS Nelson for delivering on the big stage. Look, when he took the touch before the shot, I was like, he's overdone it, because I thought the defender was closing.
Great.
And I'm like, oh man, there it goes. And then the defender didn't get there in time, and there was like it was weird. It was almost like an avenue. It was like, I don't know, like Moses parting the sea almost. Like the defenders went right, all the Arsenal players like this, getting out of the way, and just the channel opened up for him perfectly. And it was a great strike. And unbelievable. I mean, it's not just the strike though. I mean, he was unreal when he came on. Throughout that whole appearance, he was unbelievable. And I'll give credit to him, like I have done with Eddie. He seems to have come on leaps and bounds on his development as a football player. Because I mean, we really haven't seen him. We saw him sporadically after he came back from Hoffenheim, and then he's been injured quite a bit. And now in the minutes he has got, he's making the most of it, and he's making me eat my words with the performances he's putting in. I can't take anything out of what he's doing. He's doing everything that I can ask for a player that's fringe or rotation options. And big up for him, because he's one of our own. He come from Hayland, and whenever anyone from our academy does well, we as the fans love it, because they know what it means to be Arsenal. So
one of our own.
fantastic strike
Do,
from
do,
him. And,
do you know what? Do you know what I was gonna say with this, right? It's sad because he's had a lot of injuries, and I think Arteta really, really kind of believes in him because he said so in so many sound bites, so many kind of like interviews and etc. That Arteta really believes in him, and it's just a shame that he's had so many injuries. But at the end of the game, when you see all the footage of all the guys, everyone going up to him, I can only applaud him as well, because the thing is that's going to make him into a new player. The belief that's going to give him, he's going to feel like 10 feet tall tonight. Everyone was coming up to me. Everyone was. It was beautiful to see. And you know what? If anyone deserves anything, good, REISS Nelson, because he's had a torrid time of injuries. So big up to him, man.
And it's true. It is the mentality. Like we all talk about Saka's mentality and is top level. REISS is another one we've got to look at and think actually mentally he's probably gone through a lot, because again, if you follow Arsenal like we all do, my Jordan's the same age as Nelson, so his whole footballing career, his year group is one of the most unbelievable year groups. Is the REISS James's, Nelson's, all Sancho, all the same year group. So growing up, they said this is probably the strongest year group England have ever produced. There is footballers all over the place. At that age, it was unreal. So at that age, REISS Nelson was up there. It was him and Sancho, a boy called Dujon Sterling at Chelsea, and REISS James. Them four just known all around Europe. REISS Nelson, and again, Arsenal Academy, everything after kind of Iwobi was REISS Nelson. So for all of a sudden, to see Saka burst on the scene and go past you, to see Smith Rowe go past you, going out on loans, which wasn't the most successful. There was questions of his attitude. To come back to be a bit part player, the mental strength he's showing, and again, then when he finally got his chance, he scored 2 goals. He then starts the next game and then and he was flying in that game as well when he got injured. Another setback. Must be hard for him to keep going, knowing you got people like Jesus and you now with the signed Trossard. Like he's probably thinking, when is my chance going to come?
Exactly.
And to come off the bench and do what he's done, like the mental strength that shows for this kid, because again, he could have given up a long time. He could have said in the summer, just get me out. I'll go
100%.
Championship, play some football.
But do you know what the thing is? You can just imagine what Arteta said to him just before he put him on. Make something happen for us, REISS. Make something. And he did that to an absolute team. He assisted, and then he, scored the winner. You can't ask for anything more from a sub to make an impact like that. That's in a dictionary. The picture, of an impact sub should be REISS Nelson.
And big up the guy, and I think he's gonna have one great night this evening. The way that I said, even the way that, like you said, the players got around him and slapped on the back of the head. And
it was beautiful.
If you watch, I sent the video in the group. You watched the instant reaction to the goal. You had Ben White in the keeper's face, giving it large. Gabriel just collapsed. Odegaard had a heart attack on the pitch. He just dropped to the floor. And again, it's that stress and pressure, isn't it? Like we've got through it somehow. And so the spirit of this team, it just really shows sometimes, you know what I mean? And togetherness, isn't it? I don't know if it was Tierney or someone was on the sideline. He come charging onto the pitch. Like, I don't even know where he come from, because we used up all our subs. So I don't know why he was even down there, but someone's come charging on. Saliba's kicked over the corner flag. Like the camera's actually panned to Saliba. It's left Nelson. So I don't know what it was as carnage, but the feeling, there's no better feeling, is there? Like,
then a 97th minute winner. I mean, come on. Come on.
I don't want too many more of them. I've had my fair share for this season.
I mean, it was like we had that with Pepe and Wolves, wasn't it? Last season, we only had the one with Pepe and Wolves last season, and I was going ballistic. And I'm like, I haven't had a 90th minute win. I feel like that in forever. And this season, I feel like we've had 5. Mate. I'm not even kidding. Well, we've had this one Villa. We had Fulham. I'm pretty sure there's another one that we had as well. That was right at the death as well.
Man United.
That's 4. Yeah, I mean that's
you know
All
what?
right there.
But I
It
think it
just
goes
says
back to what you were saying, Gumsa, in terms of how we actually just keep knocking on the door and we keep wearing teams down. The
we will wear
best
you
teams
down.
that go and win the league, if you think about it, and and you're watching, teams like Liverpool and Man City and stuff. When it not 5 minutes or whatever comes up at the end of the 90 minutes when they put the ball up, you're just shit, yeah, they're gonna get the winner, blah blah blah. And the best teams and the teams that actually do that do go on and get that goal. And
Yeah.
it's a habit, and it's a great habit to have.
Great habit to be in, yeah. And I just want to kind of speak about again the squad. There's been a lot said about Arsenal squad of late, a lot about the depth, the squad, if they're good enough. We've got enough rotation. Now again, I know he rotated from the start. It didn't really work. We played good football. So that's when my way I say it worked because we dominated the game, but we conceded. However, again, we've heavily reliant on Saka this season. We've been heavily reliant on Martinelli. Trossard's come in and had a good impact. A lot of questions are can we cope without Jesus? And Nketiah's not there, so we've got no sub striker. But if you look what popped up today, we got a Smith Rowe assist for a Partey goal, a Reece Nelson assist for Ben White's goal, and then
Right.
Reece Nelson scores. So it just shows when the front three again, Martinelli and Saka wasn't bad, but it just wasn't coming off for them. The others stepped up, and that's what you can answer for, isn't it? Is we need bailing out this week because next week it will probably be Saka again bailing out or Martinelli bailing us out. Do you know what I mean? So it was nice that the others stepped up, and we're not here talking about our front three didn't produce today.
Yeah,
because
I think I saw a stat, or I'm pretty sure it was like Arsenal, the entire players, every single player that played on that pitch today, bar Ramsdale, has scored. And I think we've had this season 15 different goal scorers in the Prem.
wow,
I'm pretty sure, and that's the most in the competition I've seen.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Wouldn't it be great if we're playing the last game of the season, we get a penalty and then let
Ramsdale
take it?
Yeah, I'll come running on the pitch and score.
Ramsdale, I love it. But right, we're going to keep the time today because my mum will kill me if I'm late. So we're going to jump into the player ratings. I'm not done talking about this game. You might see me on Monday. I might be back because I'm not done with this one at all. It was beautiful to see. And
I think we need to dissect this one. Pick it to
let's get into
pieces.
some.
We can do.
Yeah, I definitely think we need to. I need to watch it again and then we'll go. But let's get into
Too emotional to get.
Nelson's got more goals than Richarlison. Do you know the funny thing about this game? Do you know the funny thing about this game? Tottenham got beat, and I didn't even know. Like, I was so engrossed in our game, I didn't even realize Tottenham got beat. So yeah, Paxton Road, we will be seeing you lot later. But for now, let's get this over and done with ours. Let's player ratings. Let's get into Ramsdale. I'm going to take Ramsdale. I'm going to go first because I'm going to make sure we get this right. I'm going to give Ramsdale an 8 today. I don't know if anyone's forgotten what he was doing. Yes, he conceded 2, but he's made 2 crucial saves in that game where it could be gone. Do you know what I mean? I think one of them may have been offside, the first one where they've crossed it across the box, he's come out. But yeah, I'm going to give Ramsdale 8. I think it's so important when we're dominating games, he has to stay alert and he saved one with his feet. His distribution's good as always. Like, yeah, I think yes, he's conceded 2, but he deserves 8 today. Them 2 shots he saved are they're match winners. Do you know what I mean? He's kept us in the game. Tom Miyasu, we're going to go to James.
I'm going to give him a 6.5. I felt like in the half that he was there.
No halves.
All right, if no halves, I'm giving him a 6. I did not feel like he did well today. I mean, he did okay, but he didn't. It's just out of the performers. I felt like he was one of the weaker ones. So yeah,
fair enough. Saliba, Canners,
7. Listen, I think it was unfortunate. The goals. I don't think he could do anything about it. But what he did was good enough, really. For me, a 7 is just a little bit above average, just a little.
All right, Gabriel, I'll give a 7 too. Again, didn't do nothing wrong, wasn't troubled much, but we conceded 2. I don't know if it was, again, he's touched the ball, which has killed Saliba. I don't know if he could have done better with the first one, but yeah, I'm not going to mark him down for it. I think it was just a bit of bad luck with that, to be honest. Zinchenko, James.
Again, I want to go 7.5, but I can't go halves. And I feel like going 8 is too high because I don't feel like he was as good as Ramsdale. So I'll give him a 7, but I feel like he was better than the other two defenders today in Saliba and Gabriel. Yeah,
I'm with you. Canners, you then got Partey. No, he's at fault for the second, I feel.
I would have gone 6.5. Yeah, I would have gone 6.5, but I'm going to say 7.
No half scores?
I know, 7.
All right.
7.
Cool. No half scores to 7. I'll give you that. He's got us back in the game. Do you know what I mean? So I agree with that. Vieira. I'm going to give him a 7. I don't think he done anything wrong. I think people are being really harsh. That we could have been in the same position with Xhaka on the pitch. I don't feel he did. He was tidy in areas. He showed me why I could see why he played in certain areas in the final third. Nothing came off, but he was probing. He was, you know what I mean? I don't think he wasn't bad. Like, again, if it was Everton first half where they kind of dominated us, then I would say, yeah, he's a 5. He didn't do, but we dominated the game. We just didn't get the final finish. So for me, it's very easy to say because we don't have Xhaka, we have Vieira. That's why we're losing. But we dominated the game. Football was good. And I think because it was right to bring him off there because just before he came off, he gave the ball away twice, which he hadn't done for the previous 70. So I think legs were gone, and again, he hasn't played much minutes this season. So
fair dues, yeah.
But I'll give him a 7. We will then go into. Let's not score Trossard because he wasn't on the pitch long. Martin. Oh, Odegaard. Sorry, James.
I'll get. He's in the same bracket for me as Zinchenko. I'm gonna give him a 7, but he did well today. He did control the game quite well.
Canners, you can have Martinelli.
It's going to be a 7. It's a high. It'd be a very high 6, but yes, it just shades a 7 for me. Just, I think what he did was he kept going at him, and he's that type of he keeps everyone on their toes essentially. Gives someone to to think about and stuff. Didn't have one of his better games, but actually no, I'm gonna go 6.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry. I'm just thinking about it. It's coming back.
And it's quite an interesting one because I feel he was a menace the whole game. And I think if someone else put that performance in, I would say, no, he was impactful. But I think we've been spoiled with Saka. So the final product just wasn't there from him today. And I don't want to give him a 6 because he was heavily involved. I think if you look at his stats, he probably had so many.
Was he better than Martinelli?
I don't think it's weird. He was involved in the game more. Well, obviously, Martinelli went through the middle, so he's not going to be involved in the game as much. But the final ball just wasn't there today. It's not like him.
Listen, he's human, man. He can have an off day.
Yeah, he can have an off game. I'll give him a 6 just because. Yeah, he just final product wasn't there.
On Saka's levels, that's a 6.
Yeah. I think if that was Vieira put that performance in, he would have got a 7. Do you know what I mean? But I think because I've come to expect so much of Saka now, I'll give him a 6. I think that's the lowest I've ever scored the guy. It hurts to do it. Let's go into first sub was Ben White. No, he wasn't. Tell a lie. Smith Rowe, James. Smith Rowe is the first sub.
7. Standard. I don't know. He carried the ball pretty well, but in terms of chances created or getting on the end of moves that we've come to see him do, he wasn't there today. But again, it's kind of like the Vieira situation. I don't think he did much wrong. He was just there, and what he did do, he did okay.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Then we move into Ben White was the next sub.
I'll give him an 8 for the goal. Also, obviously, he would have got a 7, but for the goal, he got an 8 for me.
Yeah. Does that mean I get Nelson? It does, don't it? Yeah, I do. After that. I'm going to give Nelson. Can we give him a 10? Can we give him a 10? 9?
Yeah.
Performance-wise, it was a 9, but I feel we have All right, we
Yeah,
give
if
him
you
a
want,
9.
if you want to give him a 10, I mean, I'm not going to
You give
argue.
him
He's
a-
got a
yeah,
97th minute winner.
yeah,
If you want,
come on.
if there's ever a
Doesn't-
game we're going to give Reece Nelson a 10, it has to be today. Come
Yeah,
on.
give the boy a 10.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Yes.
In all aspects, it means so much. It could mean so much in
Yeah.
the landscape of things. We might not even see him for the rest of the
Absolutely.
season. But what he's pulled out the bag today, an assist and a goal. Yeah, and again, he's not like he's played 90 minutes to get that. He's done that in 20 minutes. Do you know what I mean? So 25 minutes. So
He changed the game,
yeah,
literally.
yeah, he's
changed the
come
game.
on. He's changed your attitude today, guys. To be fair, hasn't he?
He changed
Because
my
it would have
night,
been
I tell
another
you.
stream.
Oh my God, tonight would have been a
He's changed my
nightmare.
weekend. He's changed everything. So
Oh,
we give him a 10.
absolutely.
We give him a 10. I think he deserves that. And again, for whatever he's gone through, for come back from the injury, not be disheartened. Do you know what I mean? He's pushed down the pecking order again with Trossard coming in, but he's risen. And he's given Arteta something to think about as well now. Again, do you know what I mean? Get me on the pitch. So
That's all he
we
can
give him
do.
that. Xhaka came on 10 minutes or so. Happy to score him a 7.
I'd say 6.
Canners, you get deciding vote.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6. I mean, it wasn't really much to. He's turned it around for me. So yeah, I'll give him a 6. To be honest.
Coolio. All right, let's get into the main man. Canners already scored Arteta a 6. He wasn't happy with him today. James, can I get your score for Arteta, please?
I'll be real. I don't think the first goal was Arteta's fault. I feel like that's on the players. Second one, yeah, you could say it's more his fault, but again, it's from a set piece and it's just lazy marking. I will
the
give
lineup?
this. I'm not too phased about the lineup, to be honest, and I mean this with no disrespect, but you should be beating Bournemouth with that lineup. Let's be real. And we have a game Wednesday for Sporting, or Tuesday, Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, Thursday. It'd be Thursday, won't it?
Okay,
Thursday,
so Thursday. So we've got rotation there. You could say I'll give him a 7. I would have. You've changed my mind with the whole lineup thing. I was going to give him an 8 because of apart from the goals, he did everything right. The players he brought on won us the game, and for me, that's what That's you question a manager's decision making in the game and the decisions he made post the mistake of the first goal and the conceding of the second goal was flawless, and we won the game. So,
yeah, I'll give a 8. Again, I'm with James. I don't think the 11 has a bearing on how we played. I think we dominated the game, which is what I'm looking for from this team. I just feel it was a bit unfortunate. Again, I don't think Bournemouth will ever be that clutch again this season. They had maybe 3 chances and scored 2, or 4, scored 2, whatever it was. So, I think the players do have to take some responsibility sometimes. We can't always praise the players when we win and then blame the manager when it goes wrong. Again, if we went into the game playing 3 at the back and then we can see, then I'm saying that's all on Arteta. Why has he changed the formation? But again, the changes are like for like. We're going to expect to see these guys on a Thursday. So if we expect to beat Sporting, then Vieira has to be able to play in these kind of games. You know what I mean? We know there's a bit of a drop off when you don't play your first 11, but we expect to go and kind of always win that tournament. So I expect to see some Tomiyasu featuring them games. And so I'm gonna give Arteta an 8 because I feel like James, we've down and he's managed to change it around. The bravery to take off Smith Rowe. Again, you're at that point of, do I upset Smith Rowe or what's the benefit of the team? Do you know what I mean? Because we have to go again next week, and yeah, he's made some big calls and he's got them right.
Absolutely.
So yeah, for me, he'd get an 8 for that. And yeah, we keep marching on. We're still 5 points clear. It's getting stressful. There's 12 games to go. Yeah, minimum for me. We've got to keep this 5-point lead before the international break. That's the minimum. I think we've got
Fulham away.
And who else have we got in that run? We've got 2 more before the international break. Who is it?
Is it Liverpool? It's not Liverpool,
Fulham and Palace.
Sorry, yeah.
Fulham away, I believe. Palace at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, a minimum, we have to maintain this 5-point lead. And then after the international break, we reassess. Hopefully, we'll have Jesus to be fully fit.
We've got a serious April.
Yeah, Liverpool,
serious.
City, Chelsea. Newcastle. There's some big games, so yeah, it's going to be an interesting running. James, strap on your seatbelt. I don't think you've been in one of these with Arsenal yet, have you? So it's going to get worse. I'm telling you that now, mate. But enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, that's right. I got my motorcycle helmet in the back. It's fine. I'll strap it on. It's all good.
But guys, thank you for joining us in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button. Keep the comments coming, guys, as well. Give us your man of the match. I think we've all decided it's Reiss Nelson today. Any arguments with that?
None whatsoever.
Excellent. Moss is saying Arteta's brilliant today. Maybe not for the lineup. Ken has alluded to, play your best 11, because we have got like a 5 day break. We probably could have started Xhaka and then rested him. Maybe miss a training session, but it is what it is. We got out of jail. 3 points. We look back at this again. It's going to make the Premiership years highlights brilliant, isn't it? Like watching back these games.
God.
The DVD is going to be great if we do win the
league. This is when they should have done all or nothing. I tell you what.
Oh, could you imagine the changing room right now? But on that note, James Canners, thank you for joining us. Big up Brenny, big up the rest of the gang. I suppose I didn't see you lot in the reactions today. G Talks, big up yourself as well. Silver Fox, I think he's going to get a disciplinary because he scared a customer today when Arsenal scored and he assaulted his colleague by accident. So we're going to start a GoFundMe for Mr. Silver Fox because he might be out of a job come Monday morning. But yeah, on that note, let's enjoy your weekends, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Enjoy.